Okay, everybody. So thanks for joining in for part two, part B, the commentary. So look at the teens on the screen. Now they're threatening tens of thousands of jobs. Tourism is being adversely affected. And out of all that, guess what? They're planning part two. As you may have heard in part A, these are teens. People are doing what they want to do. What else you got going on? Walmart. They are closing 4 stores in one weekend. Why? The stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year, and their annual losses nearly double in just the past 5 years. They're gonna have a heck of a write down. Oh my goodness. So they'll write that down for next year's taxes. Get the paperwork ready. How many pages is that? Trust me, it's cumbersome having a tax return when it's 95 or 100 pages. Trust me, I know. Man, what? Woo! I cannot imagine. But that's a big, I mean, come on. They're closing, that's a write down. Losses. These stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year. And why? The simplest explanation is that collectively our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. It's a wonder they stayed that darn long. It is a wonder they stayed that darn long. So if that's Walmart being robbed, imagine a small business owner. You can't take those losses. It's not, I'm sorry to say, and especially being a minority, you using your money. Are you crazy? Online, I'm not gonna say you're crazy. I wish you well. The thing is, brick and mortar, you know what this community will do to you. Rob you, starve you might get murked. They're closing 4 stores in the weekend. Most of these stores are open 24/7. How can you not make money? Theft, crime. I wonder if they have a whole lot of premises liability claims going on. Potential lawsuits. The simplest explanation is that collectively our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened. So 4 stores closing this weekend. Then you wonder how do we got food deserts? Aldi's left. Starbucks has left. Food deserts. What's with our neighborhood? Because the community is up to no good. The parenting. Fatherless homes. $50 billion liability, boy. What that man tell those people? He told those people, the ignorant offspring. Well, guess what? That applies to a lot of people, different groups. There's ignorance in every group. This right here is the reason on the screen. I do believe. So don't forget, Walmart closing 4 stores in one weekend. What the? Look at all the jobs, tax dollars. Look at the abandoned real estate. It's already now they're saying, yo, a lot of real estate that just sitting up here vacant because a lot of people are still working remotely. They're barely coming into the office. And now this. 4 stores in one weekend. Excuse me. So all those people, bye-bye to your jobs. Less tax dollars, by the way. 4 stores. How can you be profitable with this going on in Chicago? I don't understand. What kind of parenting is this? What kind of kids are these people? And that's what I said, these people, because guess what? I'm a black person and I'm an aunt. No, we didn't grow up like this here. I sure as hell cannot relate to it. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? My father, oh my, they wouldn't have had it. Because why? Back then, they know where you go and whom with. That's if you went anywhere. I'm serious. Oh, to hang out downtown? They're watching the news. That's not even an option. You would be in that room. Oh, well, I went last time at the last minute. Guess what? Oh, you did. I can promise you that weekend you're gonna be in that room, in that home. Why'd you go down there? You know it's dangerous. Well, my friend need to find some new friends, but I want to go. It's not up for conversation. But that's how we grew up. I would be more concerned about my parents. I would want to support my parents, especially my dad. But see, you have fatherless homes. So this is what's happening in Chicago. Here's what the ignorant people don't see, or they're just so dumb. That's why it gets to a point, them and their problems. By Felicia, by little TT, fatherless homes. So Walmart's closing down 4 stores. Now, with all this activity, with the teens running crazy in Chicago, listen, what did it say?
Brian Hopkins notes the social media that summoned hundreds of young people to 3 consecutive nights of chaos last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are now promising a part 2 this weekend. Alderman Ray Lopez says police cannot afford to be taken by surprise again.
And it was a complete breakdown of leadership in the department for not having a plan, not knowing how to execute containment, and not getting those individuals who were committed to acts of violence and disrupting life in the city of Chicago, extricating them from the situation.
The 15th Ward's Lopez and other officials say that since police lacked enough manpower to arrest organizers of the violence last weekend, there are now posts such as this on social media boasting that part 2 will convene this Saturday at various points downtown.
Part 2. We're going to do it again. Unbelievable. They should find the one with those posts and go ahead and have them arrested for inciting a riot, whatever. You throw the book at them. Show up at the home. Get that IP address. So keep this. Then why they doing this to us? The simplest explanation: they have not been profitable. Hold on. Don't forget this part here. Hold on.
The downtown Second Ward's Brian Hopkins notes that tens of thousands of jobs are at stake in hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues, many of whose patrons are already reluctant to come downtown, especially in the evening. He wants police and State's Attorney Kim Foxx to use every tool they have.
And those tools have to include a willingness to arrest and prosecute dangerous, violent offenders when they engage in mob activity that causes harm and injury to other people. They did loot the Walgreens at one point on State and Madison. We know about the injuries. We know at least 4 shots fired incidents resulted in 2 gunshot victims, one age 16 and one age 17. A lot of armed robberies, a lot of strong armed robberies, and several police officers injured, by the way.
They looted one store. Armed robberies. I thought he was never doing nothing. Not my son. It could be some daughters too. Armed robberies, looting stores. Look at this. It's like the cops got a barricade. Why aren't these children at home? Where are the fathers at?
Resulted in 2 gunshot victims, one age 16 and one age 17. A lot of armed robberies, a lot of strong armed robberies, and several police officers injured, by the way.
Robberies, strong armed robberies. So the teens are packing. The little terrorist teens packing. Tens of thousands of jobs. Patrons afraid to come down, especially at night. If a business doesn't have any patrons coming, it's going to go out of business. Tens of thousands of jobs on the line. If the patrons are scared, no customers, What do you think is going to happen? Heck, I'm sure some of the workers are scared. You think? So they're planning a part two. Again, people doing what they want to do. They're planning a part two. So again, you basically are possibly risking tens of thousands of jobs, and then you already got 4 Walmarts closing in one weekend. Not one, four in one weekend. Oh, they already done, like the Gap Band, they've been left, been gone. They've been dropped the mic. They're not having it. So what do you see is happening here? These teens on the screen, you are a product of your environment, you're a product of your home. It speaks volumes. Fatherless homes. And you're not going to tell me these parents don't see the news. The parents don't care. Any decent parent would be like, "Oh, the children. Oh yeah, Saturday night. You all are staying in. It's too much going on in the city. You're staying in. Why can't parents do that? Parents don't do that because they don't care. They don't care about their children, but we're supposed to. That is so true. I saw that in the comment section. The parents have checked out. They don't care. They might be hoping something happened to one of them. I heard a person told me that. I said, oh my gosh, that is awful. And I said, oh my goodness. I'm like, this was a white person. I said, he said, oh yeah, probably hoping something happened. I'm like, how dare you say something like that? And I guess maybe they can get a check. But we know one thing, the parents don't care. Because if it was me as a parent, oh no, we staying in. There won't be any going out. It's too much in the city going on. You can be on the internet, do what you want to do. If you want to have some friends here, depends on who they are. The parents don't care. How can all those teens, knowing it's Chicago, which is very dangerous, and seeing what is happening downtown, the destructive behavior, how can you not know where your kids are on the weekend at night? Hell, I better know where you are at 7:30, let alone 8:30, 9 o'clock. How can parents? It's very simple. Parents, keep your children in. The parents do not care. The parent discipline daddy, the father, he been gone. He been checked out. Well, it ain't on me. His mother's raising them. It's your responsibility. That show defective DNA out there that's acting up, attacking people, wilding out like a hyena. But I know the men do what they do. They just create fatherless homes, several ones. Child, you might look here. Try to find one man. You might look up. He may have 5 or 6 different offsprings down there, different baby mothers. Mother, okay, are you working on the weekend? Why? How you know where your child is? Parents done checked out. And she's so burdened out with responsibility. I'm just tired. I fell asleep. And they just out there running wild. She carried the seed of poverty, working 2 jobs. And maybe she was exhausted. Or maybe she was worried about her new boyfriend. They're basically killing the economy. So tens of thousands of jobs, adversity possibly affected downtown. Walmart closing 4 stores. The stores what? Have not, it's a wonder they lasted this long, have not been profitable. The simplest explanation is that collectively, our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. What, they stayed that long? I mean, talk about give it a chance. These stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year, and their annual losses nearly double in just the last 5 years. See the poverty D. The fathers of the $10 billion liability boys. They don't understand you are ruining Chicago's economy. Part of you are. America's terrorist. And inflation. So what are you going to go to shop? Go on and venture out. More gas money, more time. And then if you think you're going to venture out to other communities and do the very same thing in the suburban areas, and I've been to a suburban area and real nice in Chicago, news flash for you, honey. They might have those eyes on you. Why is it so hard for the parents to keep their children in? You are ruining your neighborhood. Well, it's already ruined because you have dysfunction. Look at the tax dollars that are being jeopardized. So don't be surprised when you call 911 because I need help. Oh, they shot the Quando boyfriend and he wasn't doing nothing. Oh, an elderly person is falling down. They need help. They've been robbed. There's a breaking and entering. Someone's been assaulted. Okay, we'll be there, ma'am, in about, that's 13 hours. No, matter of fact, we're going to be there next week. Next week is too late. That's what you're getting at. Then you want to complain about the services. Life is not fair. We know that. And Black people, we definitely have not been treated fairly. You in a lot of situations. Come on, discrimination. We already know the whole 9 yards. And some people want to use it as an excuse. I heard a person say, "Well, so what? It's not our store." All I will say to that response is, when you need something, you need food, or any store that is there, don't be surprised why you're paying more. You're right, because it's not your store. But that store is there to serve the community. That store is there. Let's see. Somebody might get a job. So the store, that's that person's store. So when you do things like this here, we're like, oh well, one of those things. Don't be surprised when pretty much you don't have a store. That's why you have food deserts. No one wants to deal with the irrational element. No one wants to have to do all of this. They can't operate out free. So need to do your Christmas shopping, buy groceries. I got to drive way over there. More gas money. Higher prices. Yeah. That's what your community bought. So this is how a community goes from a neighborhood with amenities, stores and shopping. This is how, and I know this lets me know hood people don't understand business. This is how a community, it goes from a neighborhood, aka community with resources. It's how it goes. It goes from neighborhood to just hood. It's just straight up hood, nothing there, nothing of value. That's why. And then you wonder why it looks the way it does. Destroy the stores, don't care about property value. You wonder why. My teen needs a job and can't find one. Well, if all the businesses have been chased out, what the hell you expect? Somebody need to do something. The parents need to ready their children. And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. A lot of Black folks need to stop having children. And that can apply to all races. A lot of white women need to stop having kids too, because they're raising somebody that's gonna shoot up the darn school. The same thing can apply to Latino women. You set up a reason why that's gonna be part of a gang. And they making a lot of money down at the border, aren't they? Wow, with all that action going on. But I'm talking about this community because me as a Black person, we got a serious problem. And you can't sit up and just, I'm going to pray about it. Look what they is doing. Look what they are doing. That's really bad. And see, that's why knowing the mindset of a lot of people, that's why a lot of intelligent Black people that are business oriented, they just don't, what the man say, just look at them, don't say nothing. Just let them go on because they don't want to listen. And guess what? They're going to do what they want to do. So just like the social media posts, they're planning part 2 to come out of Chicago and wreak havoc. Isn't that something? They're doing what they want to do. So don't surprise when I need a job. You really think you're going to rob your way? Again, as I mentioned in a prior video, and that hasn't posted, it'll post today. The only way to resolve this issue downtown, get a bunch of vans and paddy wagons, you're going to have to hire security. You're going to have a curfew. I don't care if you got to get a shuttle bus, Gonna have to have a curfew. If they're not with an adult, announce the curfew. They can't come downtown. If they're not with an adult, go ahead and put them in that van and then just take them on down to the jail and hold them and wait for the parents to come pick them up. Now, somebody might not get picked up because the parent gonna realize, man, without that, I carried the seed of IOD, a seed of poverty D. I signed up to be an IOD, an incubator of destruction. Man, they done picked up Jamal and I'm at my house chilling. Ooh, I got a break. I can wake up with no drama. It might be the safest thing to do. I'm serious. Just get a bunch of vans and just load. Where your parents? Where you now with a parent? While you're down here, guess what? Go ahead and load them up on the van and just take them to the jail. Wait for your parents to come get you. Watch it. Somebody gonna be there for an extended stay. Because some parent is not gonna show up. Somebody not gonna show up. They might realize they got that little terrorist in the home. Man, ever since they got Bunqueef and Jamal, I didn't go pick them up, and now it's Sunday. I was able to sleep in quiet. Yeah, no loud music, quiet. I've been thinking, what if I could turn that room into an office? Somebody not gonna get picked up. And you sure as hell, you gotta go call Black Queen Mama. You sure as hell can't call on a father because child, they probably don't even know where he is. And guess what? He doesn't want to be found. He'll take care of his tennis shoes better than he will his kids. That's the only solution. Gotta get some vans, set a curfew. They're downtown, put them in the van, and just go ahead and just take them on downtown to processing. But what you want to bet? I bet you some parents not going to show up. Don't let them get a whole weekend without those old bad kids they put here. I'm liking the peace and quietness in my home. It's like, hey, Mom, when are you going to go and pick up Jamal? You know, he was downtown with the curfew. Mom, we got to go get Jamal. Listen, Samantha, I'll go get him. Or to the little brother, Bobby, Brian, just go in your room. Don't worry about it. Mom, we're going to go and get Jamal, Mom. Come on, we're going to get Jamal. Child, she ain't want to go get Jamal. She don't want to go get Jamal because she know he's a problem. And she just checked out. She died. Hoping it's a chance for little Bobby or little Brian. Mom, we're not going to go get Jamal. It's been 2 weeks, Mama. Look, it'll get to the point these kids are such terrorists, and the parents know it. The parents know what they're dealing with. The parents, I think, want them out of their hair. Parents done checked out. I'm willing to bet you. It'll get to a point, if they were to pull up a van and say, hey, we're going to have security, have these vans just driving around when these kids are not with an adult, a chaperone, process them, I can guarantee you, it'll get to the point, they'll create a whole new job. They're going to need a job for somebody. Okay, Becky, Miss Jones, we got a new opening for you. Try to call these parents and remind them that the kids are down here and we need them to come. Please pick up your child. Child, I can see it right now. She's sitting up getting her manicure, pedicure done. She's sitting up relaxing, and don't let her have a new man now. She's sitting up here relaxing. Again, the father is home. That dude been gone. So I can just see it now. Pick up those kids. Hey, it's been hey, in school on Monday. They ain't worried about school. Ma'am, I can see it now. Let me call Michelle. Hi, Miss Jones. It's a Chicago jail calling for you, Miss Jones. We've got your son Jamal down here. He was downtown without a chaperone, and we picked him up on Saturday, ma'am. Look here. We're going on 2 weeks. This is not summer camp, ma'am. We're going on 2 weeks. Can you please come pick up your son? It's been 2 weeks now. We're concerned about school. Can you please come pick up your son? Child, you can call all day. It might be one of voicemail. I'm telling you. I think the parents know what they've got. And you will look up. You have to just set them free. Some of these parents, I bet you, won't show up. Somebody not going to show up. I'll be thinking, man, I wish they can keep them. Again, these parents know what they're dealing with. This is not that brand new. How do you not know where your child is? Unless you're paying a mortgage, you ain't running nothing. But you're not even running those 2 little feet you got on your body. You're not running nothing. How do you not know where your child is? Parents done checked out. I think the parent. This is going on so much. How do you not see the news? I think the parents want them at the house. Because you don't want to deal with what you created. And see, especially being a single parent, if you're busy on that hamster wheel trying to make ends meet in some cases, you got to have a firm hand. Not everybody's up to the challenge. It can be overwhelming. So sometimes you're so stressed out, there's so much going on in your life, you can't deal with it. So guess what you do? You just shut it out. You're just trying to process for another day. Another reason not to carry the seed of poverty D. Another reason not to carry the seed of poverty D were other parents. So in Chicago, you got a lot of terrorists. Oh yeah, Billy, he's a terrorist too. We've already seen him up here carjacking people. In Chicago, you have a lot of terrorists. But when you are a group at the bottom, you can't afford this. The children are your future. If this is the future, it is very bleak, my friend. So yeah, tens of thousands of jobs possibly adversely affected because of the crime in Chicago. The patrons, again, imagine you own a hotel and nobody's showing and no one shows up. You won't own it for long, darling. That overhead is still popping. You won't own it for long. They got a convention coming. Who the heck would want to come to a convention and you're like, okay, we're downtown at the convention. What's all of this? Uh-oh. And the man already told you, they got armed robberies, strong robberies. They looted a store. So yeah, America's terrorists, the teens. It's not going to work out well for you. The world is watching. So this right here that you see, this is the result. All the police, and think some of the police been injured too. This right here that you see, all this drama, all of this right here, it's the result of fatherless homes. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right now, it's being the latest statistics to my knowledge, $50 billion liability boys due to the high unemployment referencing black men and their issues. $50 billion a year. That's annually. All this right here going on, and the teens running wild. All this going on, and the teens running wild. Next, the number might be 75. Reach $100 billion annually. I kid you not. The number with this kind of behavior, it's not going to go down. It's not. This kind of behavior is not going to go down. And look what's happening. The seed of poverty D, the $50 billion liability boys, their offspring, their ignorant offspring. That's the reason you got this Walmart closing down. I do believe that's the reason why. I don't want to hear about the climate of business. Are you kidding me? Again, they're closing 4 this weekend. The simplest explanation is that collectively, our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. They got more patience than me, honey. These stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year, and their annual losses nearly double in just the last 5 years. And for the hardworking team that's not running the streets, this is what the community has for you, that they make it so much harder for you. Why? They're setting the narrative. Running wild. Social media posts. We're going to come downtown and we're going to go ahead. Look at this busted window. That person got, I guess, called for the windshield people. What's this right here? Uh-oh, a car on fire. A car is on fire. Look at the overtime being paid. I'm guessing some working overtime. So all this right here is costing money. He ain't out here volunteering for free. He on the clock. All of this right here. America's teen, the terrorists. So the youth, they're making it harder for themselves. This is what they're doing. He ain't never done nothing.
Many of whose patrons are already reluctant to come downtown, especially in the evening. He wants police and State's Attorney Kim Foxx to use every tool they have.
And those tools have to include a willingness to arrest and prosecute dangerous, violent offenders when they engage in mob activity that causes harm and injury to other people. They did loot the Walgreens at one point on State and Madison. We know about the injuries. We know at least 4 shots fired incidents resulted in 2 gunshot victims, one age 16 and one age 17. A lot of armed robberies, a lot of strong armed robberies, and several police officers injured, by the way.
Teens now. Teenagers got all this going. Teens got all this action going. Again, this is a parenting problem. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you all think. This speaks volumes about a community, and it's embarrassing. And we need to have this conversation because a lot of people think, oh my goodness, let's not talk about it. No. We need to call this kind of behavior out because we're not a monolith. I'm not one of those people, well, that's the kids acting out. No, my parents wouldn't have had it. Oh, heck to the no. You couldn't even be able to be seen down there. And guess what? They didn't have to tell you twice. If my father would have said you're not going, that's it. But these are the results of fatherless homes. The seed of poverty, D. Just like the parents, Dustinus, they bring drama, trauma. They bring loss of jobs, loss of an economy. Dusties, even their offspring, they bring drama, trauma, death, armed robberies, looting the stores. They bring drama and trauma. The financial implications, a potential loss of tens of thousands of jobs. The financial implications, right here, folks, you see it. The financial implication. Store can't be profitable. This is crazy. It's too many Dusties in the nation, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Simply Sad here on YouTube.